Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Well, I screwed up. Back in August of 2023, me and Sarah were taking a rockhounding trip through Central Oregon, and we stopped at a road cut, which I had read about. I know Rudy Chernick went there at least once in the early 90s, and this is the Girds Creek Road Cut located in Wheeler County in Central Oregon. And you know, I was like, let's stop off there. There's some gyrolite, there's phillipsite, there's cavazite, there's analcime, there's some other things. Tacronite, I think that's how you say it. Anyways, so, it was like a hot August afternoon and we're rolling through there. Beautiful land. There's just the landscape down there is gorgeous. And what's not being conveyed to you through this video right here is the scorching blast furnace, which was outside of the car. So we get there and, it's toasty. And sure enough, there's zeolites in the road cut. I can see them, but I was like, should we spend time here? Should we make a video? Is this worth it? Is it going to be a good video? And I decided to pass on it. I passed on it and I was like, look, we don't have time. Let's get to some better locations. Let's get out of here. Get up into the mountains where it's nice and cool. That said, I did collect some material. I collected a little bin full of rock there, and well, I've been sitting on it ever since. Been sitting on it, and I thought, well, I need to make this into a video, because as I started to process some of the material down, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. Well, I thought I would share with you what it takes to go from rock that I collected to that finished, beautiful, mounted little specimen, because they're actually some of the most time-consuming videos that I make. It's real easy to go and be like, I found agates in the river, and then you're like, video done. This is a long process of breaking up the material, looking for interesting bugs, cleaning, mounting, photography, the whole thing. So, with that said, we're going to get right into it. This is the Girds Creek Road Cut. We're going to look for some zeolites and some material. Come along, let's check these stuff out. So my process for breaking these rocks apart is I just use a rock hammer, a 3/4 inch chisel, and I have this little, much smaller 1/2 inch chisel. And you just get these, break them apart, and look for interesting bugs. So I kind of use a little process of making different piles, and I use this mat, which is a stall mat, on my shop floor, and collect all the little crumbles. You break it down, check it under the digital microscope to see if there's anything interesting whatsoever. I'm using the Link Micro, which we've talked about here on the channel. This just gives a nice look over, and then there's some discards. I don't really discard them, but that's kind of the process. Here's some things that I identified with the digital that are worth looking at, and then I head up and take them over to the optical microscope, which gives a much better view of what I have, like this piece right here. And I'll try to line the camera up here, but it's not the best way of doing this. But you'll see there's a vug with analcime, some massive pieces of blocky pieces of phillipsite, and the tacronite. Then I go through, I start brushing them, and I'll take them back over the optical and double check. These ones I've determined are good enough. There's something on them that's neat. I use these kind of tools to sort them and clean them and all of that. And then we head over to deeper cleaning using the ultrasonic cleaner. And I give them a bath in this, anywhere from 3 to 15 minutes. And some people think that you need something longer, but we're just trying to get dirt off of these. It's not something more grime. And now we have the keepers. These are the keepers. I'm doing a mixture of P1 micros, thumbnail boxes, and then mega thumbnails, bigger 2.5 inch thumbnail specimens. Get them all glued up in here so they're looking nice in there. And I use different glues, mineral tack, things like that. got to get those labels. All the labels are printed after doing all of the identification work. You can see that big piece has a bunch of stuff on it. And then it's time to get into some photos. So I use this XYZ lifting platform, some gooseneck lights, ring light, and I'm using my Sony camera here, which is the ZVE-10 to focus stack. So I'm going to use the lifting platform, move it a little bit, take a photo, move it a little bit, take a photo. And that's just kind of the process you go through when trying to get the full depth of field. I take those images. I took 78 photos here, and I use this software here to find the portion of each photo that is in focus, and it composites them all together into one singular in focus image. So here is the end result of all of that work. This photo of a vug with analcime, but I'm really interested in the little fuzzy mineral in there, tacronite. And that piece right there, when I measure it, we are about 1/4, 1/8 of a millimeter. We are you're looking at something that is like extremely, extremely small. You know, I don't have the best vision, obviously I have glasses, but I cannot even see this in that vug. It's just like a little white splotch. So very small stuff. And overall, I'm very happy with this material. I learned a lesson. I'm not going to pass up opportunities to do some proper collecting when we're out. I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to make fun videos in lieu of making them months and months later. And now I got some cool stuff, and I got this photo to show for it. I got a lot of other things I could take photos of. A lot of analcime, gyrolite. The massive phillipsite doesn't look super great. I mean, it's just kind of like, if you didn't know better, you could easily confuse it for like quartz or chalcedony to, like, you know, the naked eye. And yeah, I'm happy with that. Well, I hope you like this. I hope you learned something. I did. So with that said, we will leave this one here, everybody. Thank you for checking out the video. Go check out the website, currently rockhounding.com, and we'll leave this one here.